Well, it's Labor Day, September 7th, 2020, and I'm out here. Just finished our run in Usery Park, and a lot cooler today than it was Saturday morning when I was out here, but a little warmer than 52-degree Flagstaff yesterday. But came out here and wanted to make a little video to share with people this morning because Labor Day 2020 marks 5 years that I've been sober, and it's something that's kind of weird to share. I don't have the hang-ups sharing it with people now that I probably did when I first started stopping, first stopped drinking. But it's something I feel like I can share now, so I wanted to share it to just kind of hopefully encourage other people that might be struggling with the same kind of thing. And something that people close to me might have picked up on. I probably wasn't hiding it as good as I thought I was, or other people really close to me know because I've talked to them about it. But for probably 10 years, from the time I was 20 to 30, I was drinking heavily, probably minimum 3 nights a week, usually more like 4 or 5 nights a week. I was getting really drunk, and for a long time I just never thought it was a problem because I didn't feel like it was affecting my relationships. I didn't feel like it was affecting my work. I could show up and I could work hungover, better than a lot of people could work sober. And I didn't feel like it was affecting my life, and a bunch of things transpired to change my opinion. I got some really bad blood work where I was essentially giving myself beginning stages of cirrhosis. I was just kind of at a stalling point in my marriage and in my career, and it's funny when you remove that from your life how much you can realize how much it was affecting a lot more than you thought it was. But the couple things really that helped me, it's not any coincidence that the two biggest recovery programs, Alcoholics Anonymous and Celebrate Recovery, both focus on the fact that you need to acknowledge that at a minimum that there's a higher power, or in the case of Celebrate Recovery, that you need to put your trust in Jesus Christ. And that was the central thing for me, just realizing that you don't have the power over that. Certain people are totally fine having 1 or 2 drinks when they go out, and there's an old Blake Shelton song where he says, if I have 1, I have 13. And that was me, except it was usually a lot more than 13. And I think just coming to a point where you realize that it's not, you need to take responsibility for that. However, there's an actual gene that makes people more likely to that kind of behavior, more likely to do everything to excess, but especially things like narcotics or alcohol. So it's interesting, this really just in the last probably 12 years they've discovered this. Like I said, you still need to take responsibility for that. It makes you more likely, more prone to that behavior. It does not automatically make you an alcoholic or addicted to anything else. So really, just acknowledging that you need help, that you can't do it on your own, and seeking that from God. And I think the other thing is surrounding yourself by the right kind of people, whether that's people who know the struggle you're having and will encourage you even when you're having a down moment to not give in. It might mean not hanging out with a lot of, in my case, a lot of the people that I was hanging out with were drinking all the time, but also most of the time for me it was drinking on my own. I was perfectly happy drinking on my own. So I think the other thing probably worth talking about is a lot of people will think that, in my case, I would drink to get drunk every single time, and to a lot of people that's what an alcoholic is. And it's interesting because it's not so much, especially when I remove myself from drinking all the time, I can really see this. that it's not so much how much you're drinking as to why you're drinking. So, there's the classic drinking to forget a heartbreak, but pretty quickly that can turn into drinking to avoid any kind of a problem, any kind of a tough spot, any kind of an emotional hang up or difficult situation in your life. There's also, just drinking for entertainment. And for me, most of the time, that's what it was. I was just bored and I would drink because it was fun, and it made just sitting there being lazy and watching movies fun. And, there's also just kind of drinking to relax, I guess, is probably the best way to put it. And a lot of people think that in order to relax, they need to have a beer or two. They need to have a glass of wine, except pretty quickly that glass of wine, incidentally, a glass of wine is 4 ounces. You should be able to get 6 glasses of wine out of a regular 750 milliliter bottle of wine. For some of you, a glass of wine is not 8 ounces. A glass of wine is not 12 ounces like a normal, drinking cup size. So, just because you're having 2 glasses of wine and really you drank 2 24-ounce glasses of wine, that's not a glass of wine. But anyway, if that's you, where you need to have some kind of alcohol or substance to relax, I think that's a problem. And it's pretty interesting. I can see this behavior in a lot of people I know. Maybe some people that end up watching this video, hopefully people that end up watching this video, because I want to encourage you to get past that behavior and rise above that behavior. And it's not productive. You're never going to mature intellectually, emotionally, relationally, spiritually. It's probably holding you back from a lot more things than you think it is, whether it might be goals or careers, aspirations, or it's probably affecting relationships way more than you would admit that it is. And a lot of people have it's kind of sad when you see the number of things that they can actually track, like alcohol sales and the amount that they've gone up as a result of COVID. And I understand exactly what that's like, whether it's a fear-based response, or it's a way to forget, or it's a way to relax. I totally understand. And I'm telling you, there's better ways to deal with it. There's healthier ways to deal with it. There's more productive ways to deal with it. And for every problem, that means facing it head on, not avoiding it. And so those are some of the things I wanted to talk about. But it's for a lot of people, hopefully, that watch this video, I'm talking to you, and I'm not calling anybody out by name. I'm not going to tag anybody in this, but I'm talking to you because I want to encourage you, not because I want to beat you up. It's for a long time, I didn't want to admit that I had a problem with alcohol to anyone, because the culture I was raised in, the household I was raised in, we didn't really talk about problems you had. The culture I was raised in, if you showed any kind of weakness, people are going to latch onto that and just rip you apart. And especially for those of you that have been in the military, if you show any kind of weakness, people are going to latch onto that and just bust your balls left and right for it. And so, I didn't want to share that because I thought it was a weakness. But, 5 years on now, having overcome that, I can without a doubt say that it takes way more strength to overcome that than a lot of people who may or may not have substance problems will ever find in their life. So, you may have that predisposition to some kind of addiction, but it is not a weakness, and it's something you can overcome. And it's something you can't overcome on your own. Like I said, you need to seek help. And I have very good reasons, in my opinion, that you need to seek help from God. but you also need to seek help from, other people. For some of you, it might, mean finding a program with other people that you can relate to encourage you. And, I can't sit there and be a sponsor to everyone, but you absolutely can reach out to me and I will encourage you, because I know exactly what that's like to, to face up to that reality. So anyway, yeah, it's funny because, 5 years ago, I was waking up with the last hangover, and it's now I wake up in the morning and I just love being outside. I love going out for a run. I love going out for a bike ride with my daughter. I love going out for a hike with my wife. And, those are the things that really kind of get me going now. But I think that's another aspect to it. Now I'm just rambling, but is a physical aspect to it. Finding that it's just such a healthier release to all those emotional issues you might be struggling with or trying to mask with the alcohol. Is some kind of a physical activity. For me it was running. And I used to absolutely hate running. I was on track and cross country in high school and I hated it. I did it because my friends did it. Hated every second of it. And now, I go out I went for a 5-mile run this morning for fun. It was just a nice leisurely pace. It's a little warmer out here than I'd like, but so anyway, that's really, I'll be done rambling now for you, those of you that watched any of this or all of this. And if you need that help, if you need that encouragement, reach out to me, because I will 100% encourage you. So yeah, be strong, overcome it.